Hey everybody, Dustin Dopirak here, Pacers Insider, with Colts Insider Joel Erickson, who is helping us out. Basically, we've got a huge team covering this thing. Obviously, everybody's pitching in, so we appreciate Joel coming out for this stuff. Pacers win 116-107 in Game 3, 2-1 lead in this series. Let's just start with this because we were just talking about this is a fantastic basketball game, just in terms of the artistry of it, just in terms of teams just continue to sort of meet the moment, basically answer one after another. Thunder go up after the first quarter. Pacers had a terrific second, go up 40-28. Just driven by the bench. You see basically all the stars stepped up, but bench players on both teams stepped up. This was just good basketball, right? I mean, like especially with the crowd, with the atmosphere, everything combined. This is a fun game to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of times in sports, there's a bunch of big buildup for a big game. This is the first NBA Finals game in Indianapolis in a long time.
25
years. You could feel it in the city walking around
You could.
today, picking up. We had to pick up credentials and walk around the stadium, all that stuff. Everyone was already out at like 4 o'clock. And sometimes that falls flat. It did not fall flat tonight. It was unbelievable basketball game. Started a little slow, but really from the second quarter on, this game was close. It felt like it could go either way. Great performances on both sides, and kind of a quintessential Pacers game from somebody who's obviously not watched them all season, but to have McConnell, to have Mathurin, to have Toppin playing the way they did, showing the depth, just really felt quintessential Pacers.
Sure it did. I mean, you don't always get all of those guys together, but I mean, all three of those those are your key bench guys. Obviously, Thomas Bryant contributes, Tony Bradley contributes, Ben Shepherd contributes. Ben Shepherd, I thought, hit a big shot to get them going in the first quarter even. But the kind of staples of this bench throughout the postseason have been McConnell, Toppin, and Mathurin. And Mathurin hasn't always been great, but Mathurin was spectacular. I think 27 points. It was 9 of 12 shooting, just incredibly efficient. Just kept knocking down mid-range shots, three-pointers, getting the rim, drawing some fouls. This is the Mathurin they hope for. You can't always get it. It's not always guaranteed to be this, and certainly not always guaranteed to shoot like that. But it seems like he did everything they've been asking for him to do, basically everything that they've been hoping for him to do.
Yeah, and I thought the physicality he played with is important because this is an Oklahoma City team that, outside of their center, oddly enough, kind of wants to beat up the Pacers. Like you can see it. They're trying to do stuff. Mathurin plays through contact.
Yes, he does.
He plays through contact. He gets the free throw line. I know Tyrese Halliburton said that was a big thing for them to play in the paint. He's the kind of guy who, and he's got that mentality. I think through the regular season we've seen where that can go bad.
Yeah, it can.
It fits this finals though because of the way Oklahoma City plays defense.
It fits this finals if they're able to execute well enough that he's not driving into 2 and 3 people. I think one of the things that Rick Carlisle said after Game 1 was that you can't drive into crowds. Actually, he didn't even say it after Game 1. He said it in a timeout where they had him mic'd up, that you can't drive into crowds against these guys. And one of the, basically, Rick Carlisle's number one recurrent complaint about Mathurin is when he drives into crowds. But he was able to make smart drives, and I think also Halliburton pointed out basically that he was taking these kind of like elbow jumpers, and he says that's not a great analytic shot, but that's a shot they give you, and if you're gonna, you have to take some of what they give you. The Oklahoma City Thunder does not give you much, so you have to take what is there. I thought they did a good job of that, and Mathurin taking advantage of those, I think was really helpful for them. Halliburton played. We've talked a lot about aggression, and it's been a narrative basically that's been tough to kind of weed out and kind of say what makes sense there. Because Halliburton doesn't go into a game and say, I only want to take 7 shots today. That's not what it is. But I mean, he's talked about this whole series of making sure that you're mixing things up, making sure that you're being smart with the shots you take, with the plays that you make, basically, like, and he said, I think we were doing too much high pick and roll. I think we're playing to their hands. We wanted to play off the pitch a little bit more. When he says play off the pitch, he means kind of do kind of a give and go type thing, where he's giving a Turner, when he's got his back to the basket, and Turner's just kind of pitching it back to him, and Halliburton gets to play downhill that way. Thought he was able to really do that. 22 points, 11 assists, 9 rebounds. Played with a lot of activity on both ends tonight. I thought that was really sharp basketball game. I thought Halliburton played.
Yeah, I thought the thing that stuck out to me is, like, the conversation around him is always about shots. And he ends up with 22 points tonight. But the thing that stuck out to me is early in the game, he played his basketball. He was passing up shots for better shots. He honestly probably could have had 15, 16 assists if guys hit threes early in the first quarter.
There were a couple of really good passes that went for naught.
And to me, that feels like that's his basketball. And I think the biggest thing, and this is me just as an outsider coming in, is there haven't been a lot of players who've played like him in the NBA in a little while.
Sure.
And people aren't used to talking about distributors the same way.
Right.
And evaluating them the same way.
Right.
You know, you don't want to make the comparison, but like, you go back and look at Magic Johnson's scoring statistics.
I did this the other day, actually, just to kind of get a sense of this is what we're talking about.
And he's in the teens, right?
Yeah.
For the most of his career.
Yeah. I mean, the difference is Magic's assist numbers were nuts.
Yeah,
Halliburton's
insane.
numbers are really good. Magic, you have to go back at like a game by game to look at Magic, and it's like he'll have some games where he has like 8, 9 points, and he's got like 18 assists, or it's 22. And Halliburton is great, but he's at like 12. You know, like Magic's numbers are absurd at that point when you're talking about Showtime and everything. Point of the matter, this is the type of game that makes sense. I mean, him getting shots is a product of him running good offense. Him getting shots is an effect, it's not a cause. It's not so much like if he just goes out and finds a way to chuck 12 or 13, that means they're doing something. If he runs good offense, he gets good shots, and so does everybody else. And that's kind of more, that's the cause. The effect is he gets some good ones. I thought, and again, we also have to talk about T.J. McConnell. If we're going to talk about Matthew, we're going to talk about McConnell.
That's true.
McConnell was the most, he did so much McConnelling tonight. It was the most McConnell of games. You know, he wasn't perfect. He had a couple of shots that he missed. It was 3 of 8 from the floor, you know, didn't do everything right, but 5 steals. I think 3 of those were backcourt steals. 3 of those were you know, like his sort of signature play, and that got so much work. Obviously lit this place on fire like it does, but you know, got them some easy ones, and it's not easy to get easy ones against the Thunder. When you can get them that way, it goes a long way. But I think TJ really made the atmosphere what it was tonight.
Yeah, I don't always think of McConnell as I know he gets steals, but I don't think of him as a defensive star. I think we've
Which
all
is wild because that's what he was.
And
that's what he came in
it
with.
wasn't just this. In the second quarter there, when he really got going, there were a couple of rebounds in there too.
Sure.
Like
He'll
key
chase it down.
rebounds, he'll chase it down. You're right. This place was ready to blow. Even when they got down early, every shot was a huge thing.
Sure.
And
You
so
could
to get
you
a
could feel
run,
it.
to get a run from McConnell, you could feel it. That's where we started the video. That's where it kind of ends. It's like
They ignited the joint.
They ignited the joint, and by the end of it, you know, throw some Pat McAfee in there, and you're ready to blow the roof off.
Exactly. You knew McAfee was coming. Pacers are up 2-1. They do have a home court advantage again on Friday for Game 4. So that's a big one. Continuing it is a difficult piece of this, but they take full advantage of getting back home for Cambridge. First time in 25 years they pull off the win. 2 wins away from a championship. We'll have more tomorrow, and they'll have more on Friday.